Hello, I'm Mireia from Barcelona, and I'm going to show you how they use the chorus and phaser effect on a piece I'm working on. I'm going to use Audacity mostly because it's an easy-to-use, simple program. But we can apply these filters in any DAW of our choice. In the case of Audacity, the original delay filters are very limited, so I downloaded some VST plugins with the effects I wanted. It is also advisable to create a keyboard shortcut for the filters that we are going to use more often. This piece is made up of several MIDI tracks which have been converted to WAV for the use in Audacity. But of course, you can also apply the filters directly in the MIDI instrument tracks. The first filter I'm going to use is the phaser. In this piece, I have a very simple track of just a couple of notes played by a violin. I want to add an effect that will give the sound some movement, like some kind of very slow paced vibrato. I'm using a very simple phaser. Here I can adjust the LFO rate, that is which frequencies of the sound will be affected by the filter. The depth knob adjusts how far out of phase the LFO is. As I'm looking for a natural sound, I set these two in a somewhat neutral settings. Next is the feedback. If I move the knob from its position at 0, it will make a distorted, trembling sound. So, since I said that in this case I want to add some kind of natural effect, I'm not going to move the feedback knob from the very middle. So, this is how the phaser effect would sound once we have finished with all the settings. There are other phaser filters available, but I have selected this one because it provides a more trembling effect, which is what I was looking for, while other filters will add a swooshing, a kind of more subtle swooshing effect. Next filter I'm going to use is the chorus filter. As with the phaser, there are several plugins that will achieve this effect. In this case, I have a string quartet, and I want to make it sound as if there are several instruments in its track. Here we can listen to how it sounds originally. For this, I will use a multi-voice chorus plugin. Here, I can select how many extra voices I want to add. In this case, I will put 3. They can go from 1 to 8. The delay base is how long is the delay between the input and the output. Also, in this case, I will go for a standard 10 milliseconds. That is almost what is the lowest setting, and the detune percentage. As we have seen in the course, the chorus filter not only applies a delay to the output, but it also puts it out of tune so as to make it sound different. Here in the detune percentage, we can decide how different it is going to be. Once we have set the detune percentage, we can select at which frequency the detune is going to affect. The lower the frequency, the subtler the effect will be. So in this case, we will set about 9 Hz. And finally, we can adjust the output attenuation. In this case, there will be no attenuation at all. It is advisable to attenuate the output if we have added many voices or if the input source is very loud, so as to avoid excessive distortion. We have managed to turn a few MIDI tracks into a full-blown, alive orchestra thanks to the use of the delay filters.